Picture yourself on a cliff's edge, overlooking a crystal-clear river. That was your artery the day you were born. 16 years ago, my own river started to freeze, and the scan proved it, A_coronary calcium score of 312. The cardiologist translated that number into real life. You're 3 times likelier to face a heart attack than the average person. So what kept that number from climbing even a single grain of sand for 15 straight years? An overlooked nutrient, vitamin K2 for heart health and the quiet way it can reverse artery calcification from the inside out. If this is the first time you've heard of K2, type "I'm ready" in the comments, and I'll answer your question first. Whatever you do, keep watching. At the 6-minute mark, you'll see my before and after CT scan that proves an artery really can grow younger. Listen for the soft chime, and make sure you're here when it rings. One number alone can predict a future heart attack years before it happens. The 2024 Framingham update shows that once a coronary calcium score tops 300, cardiovascular death risk triples, cross 400 and it quadruples. In the United States, 1 in 3 adults over 60 quietly carries a red zone score. Most learn it only on an emergency table. What makes this more alarming is the price tag. A calcium CT scan averages just $120, yet fewer than 15% of seniors have ever had one. Translation: millions of concrete bombs are growing inside chests right now. That's why I need you to remember 2 things. First, ask your doctor for a coronary calcium score as soon as possible. Second, know that a biological key, vitamin K2 for heart health, has been shown in multiple studies to reverse artery calcification. If you've already scanned, post "My score is" and your number below so we can compare and cheer each other on to lower values. If you haven't, write "I'm scanning" to mark your starting line. In 2 minutes, I'll break down the 0-400 scale and explain why a 0 is like a passport back to 20-year-old arteries. Don't miss it. Picture yourself holding a treasure map with only 5 symbols on it. Decode them correctly and you can push your coronary calcium score back into the safe zone, slamming the door on a future heart attack. I'll unlock each symbol in order. How exactly does vitamin K2 for heart health pull calcium out of your arteries? The precise -7 Malawian kwacha's dose in micrograms per day that can reverse artery calcification. Why do you need the vitamin D3 and K2 combo instead of taking K2 alone? What a 1:1 omega-6 to omega-3 plate looks like in everyday meals. How soon should you rescan to prove the plaque is shrinking? Each answer comes with a 24-hour action step. If you want the streamlined checklist, type "MAP" in the comments so I know you're ready for the quest. Keep watching. At the 9-minute mark, I'll share the moment I teared up after seeing my follow-up scan, 0 new calcium points after just 3 months. Set your timer. Imagine owning a thermometer that measures the true age of your arteries instead of body heat. A blue mark means you have 18-year-old pipes, a red mark means you're an unwilling senior. That arterial thermometer is the _coronary calcium score _, a number that tells how much calcium has already cemented itself inside your coronary walls. A CT scanner glides over you for 30 seconds, software assigns points to every bright calcium speck. When the printout lands in your hand, it reads like this. 0 points, clear skies, your 10-year heart attack risk is under 1%. 1 to 99 points, a light morning fog, small deposits exist, so start thinking seriously about vitamin K2 for heart health and dialing in your diet. 100 to 299 points, the yellow caution light, research shows this is the sweet spot to reverse artery calcification by pairing 200 g of -7 Malawian kwachas, 2000 IU of vitamin D3, and an omega-6 to omega-3 ratio near 1:1. 300 to 399 points, storm clouds gather. Cardiovascular events triple compared with low scorers. Doctors often bring statins to the table, yet high-dose K2 still improves arterial flexibility within a year. 400 points or more, red alert, plaque is now concrete. From here, you tackle AB, Doppler flow, and a no-nonsense plan that covers food, movement, and medication. Cost? At dozens of U.S. imaging centers, the calcium score test price runs only $120 to $150, cheaper than a birthday dinner. Most clinics hand you the result the same day. The single most important step is to turn that number into motivation, not a death sentence. I once held a sheet that screamed, 312, my hands shaking. Yet that moment launched a 90-day mission that kept the chalk line from rising even a single point. If you've been scanned before, pull out your paperwork now, write the number on a fresh sheet, and circle its range on the scale I just walked through. If you haven't, pencil in an appointment this week. Don't let a concrete anchor drag your heart down one more day. The physician slid a page across the desk, no cholesterol panel, no fasting glucose, just one huge number, 312. He said it softly, as though not to startle me, a coronary calcium score of 312 triples your chance of a future heart attack. In that moment, the CT scan felt like a preview of my own obituary. The 40-mile drive home was silent except for the phrase coronary calcium score looping in my head. The instant I walked through the door, I typed, how to reverse artery calcification. Article after article repeated the same phrase, vitamin K2 for heart health. Honestly, at first I thought K2 was just a mountain trail. Curiosity morphed into obsession. I learned that K2, especially -7 Malawian kwacha's, switches on a protein called MGP, the body's waste truck that hauls calcium out of artery walls and back to bone. But every study insisted on a team effort, daily -7 Malawian kwacha's, vitamin D3, light strength training, plus a plate balanced at 1:1 omega-6 to omega-3. I called it the three-blade propeller. 36 hours after my clinical shock, I tossed my last soda, ordered -7 Malawian kwacha's at 200 g, and downloaded a step counter app. Goal, 5,000 steps a day. Week 1, my thighs ached. By week 3, my morning blood pressure read 6 points lower. At week 12, I scanned again. The number was still 312, not lower, but frozen. For a score that had climbed every previous year, a standstill felt like a miracle. If you're staring at a sheet that says 150, 280, or even 400, remember, the number does not dictate your fate. Type, I'm ready to lower it, below as a promise to yourself. Start a 90-day countdown right now, we'll compare notes in 3 months. In the next segment, I'll unpack the science, from test tube to artery, showing exactly why this little capsule can turn hardened plaque into yesterday's problem. Stay with me. Have you ever watched a vacuum truck suck sludge out of a sewer line, leaving the pipe clear and new? Inside your body, a similar sludge vac exists. It's a protein called matrix GLA protein, or MGP. The catch, MGP stays parked and powerless until you flip its ignition switch, and that switch is vitamin K2 for heart health. A 2022 JACC study shows that in people low in K2, most MGP molecules lie dormant. While hardened coronary artery calcification builds up, inactive MGP can't lift a finger, calcium crystals glue together until arterial calcification reversal looks impossible. Feed your blood a steady supply of vitamin K2 -7 Malawian kwacha's, however, and MGP wakes up, latches onto the crystals, pries them off the arterial wall, and carts them back to your bones. That explains why K2 supplementation can soften arteries and strengthen skeletons at the same time, 2 wins for anyone over 60. But why isn't K2 alone enough? Calcium is like a convoy of trucks that needs road signs to reach the bone. Those signs are vitamin D-dependent receptors. When D is scarce, calcium makes wrong turns, circles in the bloodstream, and parks in inflamed vessel walls. That's why every guideline recommends the vitamin D3 and K2 combo, traffic light plus sludge vac working together to reverse artery calcification. So what does matter? Nearly every successful trial clusters around 100 to 200 g of -7 Malawian kwacha's daily paired with 2000 IU of vitamin D3. If you're on statins or anticoagulants, consult your physician. K2 can slightly lower anticoagulant strength, which sparked the myth that K2 thickens blood. In reality, data from 11,000 patients show that a 200 g dose does not raise clot events and actually lowers CRP and improves glucose handling. Now picture your artery as a kitchen pipe crusted with limescale. Each -7 Malawian kwacha's capsule is a mini pressure blast loosening the crust. 5 minutes of light weights act like running hot water to flush flakes away. A 1 omega-6 to omega-3 rainbow plate cools the inflammatory fire so new crust won't stick. Combine the 3, and 90 days later, that pipe looks far cleaner than you'd expect. If this biological vacuum truck analogy just clicked for you, type MGP on in the comments. In the next segment, we'll turn the theory into menus and movement you can start tonight. No daily natto required. Stay with me, the next small step is a giant stride for your arteries. Ready for a 7-minute stress test that switches on the 3 engines most capable of scraping plaque off your arteries, faster than any single pill? Grab your phone, set the timer, and meet me under an open sky. 1. The 1:1 rainbow plate, 2 minutes. Open the fridge and pick at least 3 colors of produce: dark green, broccoli, kale, red, tomato, bell pepper, and purple, red cabbage, blueberries. Let those plants fill half your plate. Add 100 g of clean protein, salmon or chicken breast, and finish with a tablespoon of olive oil or a quarter avocado. A near 1:1 omega-6 to omega-3 ratio cools inflammation, while fiber and polyphenol escort LDL out of circulation. Snap a photo and post it in our Living Strong with Harold group for instant feedback. 2. The 5-minute lift, your plaque flush pump. Stand in the yard, a park, or on the beach, hold 2 2kg dumbbells, or 2 1.5-liter water bottles. Run through 30 biceps curls, 20 shallow squats, 20 bent-over rows. The 2024 BMJ study found that only 2 lightweight sessions per week cut cardiac mortality by 20%, add 2 brisk walks, and the benefit soars to 40%. Moving muscle acts like a second heart, pushing oxygenated blood through vessels and sweeping away calcium crystals softened by vitamin K2 for heart health. 3. The traffic light capsule, 10 seconds every dawn. When morning light spills through the curtains, swallow 100 to 200 g of -7 Malawian kwachas alongside 2000 IU of vitamin D3. D3 swings open the gate that funnels calcium into bone. K2 flips MGP to vacuum calcium from vessel walls, core chemistry behind reverse artery calcification. If you're on statins, ask your physician for a tailored -7 Malawian kwachas dose. Many patients report K2 eases muscle pain and tames minor statin side effects without altering INR at the 200 g level. Stitch the trio into a 7-minute routine. 2 minutes to build the rainbow plate. 5 minutes of light weights. 10 seconds for the D3 plus K2 capsule. Mark done in your 30-day flow tracker each day. Within a month, you could see morning blood pressure drop a few points and hill climbs feel lighter. Scan again in 12 to 18 months, and your coronary calcium score may hold steady, or even slip backward, hard proof you can reverse artery calcification. If you finished your first mini lift while watching, type "lifted" so we can cheer you on. Now inhale deeply, watch the sun set, and gear up for the next segment, the 7-day self-audit. Simple blood and inflammation checks to confirm your inner vacuum truck is really at work. Stay tuned. Ever wish for an inner mirror that shows whether your body is truly changing or you're just feeling hopeful? Good news, over the next 7 days, we'll build that mirror. No needles, no pricey machines, using nothing more than a pen, a tape measure, and a splash of cold water. Day 1, sunrise blood pressure. Before coffee, log your top and bottom numbers. By day 30, we aim to shave at least 5 mm of mercury, early evidence that vitamin K2 for heart health is loosening vessel walls. Day 2, waistline. Wrap the tape around your navel. Every 2 cm drop cuts heart attack risk by roughly 5%. Day 3, toe cap refill. Press a toenail for 3 seconds, release, and time the pink return. Under 1 second means smooth flow. Repeat next week to watch for improvement. Day 4, steps. Hit a baseline of 5,000. The more muscle pumping, the faster you can reverse artery calcification. Day 5, omega-6/omega-3 log. Photograph each meal. Rate the day's seed oil load versus salmon, avocado, or olive oil. Day 6, rest metrics. A smartwatch or a free app will show resting heart rate and sleep length. Take note, under 70 BPM suggests more supple arteries. Day 7, why list? Write 3 reasons you want to lower your coronary calcium score, maybe shooting hoops with grandkids, cycling at dawn, or simply living free of arterial calcification anxiety. A clear why is stronger than any -7 Malawian kwacha's capsule. Post your 7-day audit photo in our Facebook group. Every improved number is another crack in your plaque. Stay tuned, next segment will shatter the 3 biggest myths about K2 and calcium. Ever poured natto into your breakfast, swallowed -7 Malawian kwachas, and logged your daily steps, only to hear a friend say, "That won't help, you know"? 3 stubborn myths convince thousands to quit early, allowing their coronary calcium score to creep higher every year. Myth 1, K2 thickens blood and can trigger a stroke. Not true. Vitamin K1 participates in clotting. Vitamin K2, for heart health, activates MGP in arteries and bone. A long-term analysis of 11,000 patients found that 200 g of -7 Malawian kwachas did not raise clot events and lowered CRP. The single caveat, if you take anticoagulants, tell your doctor so dosing can be adjusted. Myth 2, only natto contains vitamin K2. Natto tops the chart, but it isn't alone. Gouda or Edam cheese, free-range egg yolks, fermented mackerel, and even butter from grass-fed cows offer meaningful -7 Malawian kwachas. You can boost K2 without daily fermented soybeans. Myth 3, a high calcium score can never be reversed. Data from the 2023 Rotterdam study show that people who combined K2, a 1-to-1 omega-6/omega-3 diet, and 2 lightweight sessions per week often held their score steady, or nudged it downward, over 24 months. Reverse artery calcification is possible. The keys are starting early, staying consistent, and rescanning every 12 to 18 months. If you once believed any of these, type "by myth" in the comments to strike that mental barrier from your path. Next up, the 30-day K2 challenge, turning fresh belief into a day-by-day action plan. Stick around. Imagine a 30-day habit that's long enough to reshape your body but short enough to finish. Picture next Monday's sunrise. You draw the first X on your calendar, then watch 29 more X's line up, each one a hammer tap against arterial concrete. That's the 30-day K2 challenge. I invite you to start today. Days 1 to 7, Foundation Week. Swallow 200 g of -7 Malawian kwachas and 2000 IU of vitamin D3 with breakfast. Build a rainbow plate at lunch, 3 vegetable colors, 100 g of protein, and a good fat drizzle, olive oil or avocado. Finish the 5-minute lift, curls, squats, and bent over rows. Mark "Done" on the first 4 lines of your flow tracker. Days 8 to 14, K2 food booster. Add 3 servings of natto or Gouda. If the flavor scares you, stir warm eggs into natto or melt cheese over a baked sweet potato. Post a photo of your best K2 meal in the Facebook group. The most liked shot wins a free bottle of -7 Malawian kwachas. Days 15 to 21, blood flow workouts. Raise brisk walks to 4 times a week, 20 minutes each. Or cycle 30 minutes at 60 to 70% max heart rate, prime territory for lowering inflammation and accelerating reverse artery calcification. If you're on statins, log any muscle aches and note changes after 3 weeks of vitamin K2 for heart health. Days 22 to 28, oil and sugar tuning. At every meal, ask, is this oil olive/avocado/fish or industrial seed? Swap seed oils for extra virgin olive or fish fat twice daily, /refined sugar by half. Expect a lower resting heart rate and a looser belt. Record the new numbers in your audit sheet. Days 29 to 30, self-review and share. Measure blood pressure, waist, resting HR, and toe cap refill again. Calculate your monthly step average. Write one line, I took this challenge because, and post it with a photo of your Red X calendar. When all 30 squares are filled, type K2 done below. I'll shout out the first 10 finishers and invite them to appear in a follow-up video on sustaining a lower coronary calcium score. Set a date for your next CT scan 12 to 18 months out. That image will prove that 30 small X's can move a mountain of plaque. Breathe deeply, picture warm blood gliding through flexible vessels, and promise yourself, I'll print the calendar and begin. The next segment delivers your download links, the full PDF kit, color chart, and rapid K2 meal plan. Stay right here, the first empty square is waiting. Have you ever closed the last page of a book and immediately thought, where's the sequel? Your artery calcium journey is the same, without a next chapter, the knowledge fades. So tonight I'm setting the alarm bell for you. Type clear K2 below. Within 60 seconds, you'll receive a link to the K2 Toolkit, which contains an updated artery mirror checklist, 10 mirror tests, including the cap refill drill. A color 30-day flow tracker ready for check marks on the rainbow plate, 5-minute lift, -7 Malawian Kwacha's capsule, and 4-7-8 breath. A rapid K2 meal guide that locks in a 1:1 omega-6/omega-3 ratio with 12 recipes, Gouda salad, natto omelette, miso mackerel soup. A Score Zero journal for logging CT numbers, blood pressure, waist, and CRP, so in 3 months, you'll hold proof, not just hope, that you can reverse artery calcification. The download also invites you to our Facebook group, Living Strong with Harold. Each evening, we post rainbow plate photos, swap resting heart rate wins, and troubleshoot statin side effects, cheering one another through the full 90-day drive to a lower coronary calcium score. Tap subscribe and hit the bell. Algorithms sometimes forget, but that bell never does. You'll never miss a fresh tactic on vitamin K2 for heart health, new scans, or hidden tips to keep plaque soft and mobile. Finally, promise me this, tonight, print the calendar, stick it on your fridge, and draw your first X. The instant ink hits paper, microscopic cracks begin forming in the plaque you feared. I'll see you on the K2 Done leaderboard, and in the next episode, Magnesium, the sidekick mineral that keeps arteries supple. Stay tuned. The sun sets amber over the distant fields, and our 30-minute journey comes to a close. You've learned that a coronary calcium score is not a verdict but a roadmap, that vitamin K2 for heart health isn't magic, yet it flips on MGP, the vacuum truck that hauls calcium out of your arteries, and that the triple engine of a 1 rainbow plate, a 5-minute lift, and a daily -7 Malawian Kwacha's plus D3 capsule can begin to reverse artery calcification long before a silent heart attack ever strikes. If this video resonated, please tap like. It tells YouTube the fight to reverse artery calcification deserves a wider audience. Share it with someone staring at a scary CT report. You might become the link that saves their heart. I'm Harold Bennett, 76, meeting every sunrise with a walk, a deep breath, and a dose of K2. Knowledge sparks the flame, but only new habits forge a younger heart. Stay connected through our Living Strong with Harold group, where every red X on your calendar inspires the whole community. Next episode drops Friday at 10 a.m., Magnesium and Arterial Flexibility, the mineral sidekick to K2. Set a reminder, ring the bell, and remember, information doesn't change a person, adopting a new identity does. Wishing you a peaceful night and arteries as fluid as a springtime river.